guys, welcome to This Week on the Challenge with me, Adrian. This week I wanted to do a fun video where I went back 5 seasons, back to Dirty 30. I went through the list of all the cast members and picked out my top 5 favorite female challengers. So let's discuss. Here we go. At number 5 is Ashley with the long, pretty blonde hair with a southern accent. We first saw her on Real World Explosion, and I remember watching her on that season, and she was like actually really mean and really rude to all of her housemates. I remember Jay and Jenna were there, and also Tori, and she didn't get along with her roommates, and I don't know what happened, but they seemed to have kicked her off in one of the first few episodes of the show, so she didn't even last. So I was really surprised when I saw her come back on the challenge, because as you know, a viewer of the real world, like, I barely remembered her except for just her being a hot mess in the house. Like, that's all I remembered. And, you know, that kind of remains true in the house, and is probably why producers continue to invite her back on, because she creates drama in the house, which is great for views. So I did have a hard time filling my 5th spot on my top 5. The other 4 I do really like, but number 5, it was kind of hard, but I did fill it with Ashley for one particular reason. Why it was kind of hard is because Ashley, although I like her, she constantly threatens to quit every single season. Like, every single season there's at least one scene where she's like crying, yelling, taking off her mic pack, threatening to quit the show with the producers. And dude, like, I would love to be on the show, and I'm sure a ton of other people in this challenge, like family, would love to be on the show. So like, if it happens once in so many seasons, fine, but because it happens so many times every single season, it just, you know, I don't like it. It looks very attention-seeking and bleh. Don't do that. So why I put her on my list is because of her final decision that she made in the final reckoning. So she was on that season with her partner Hunter. They came in midway through the season as like mercenaries. I think that's what it was called during that season. So they basically came in, beat a team that was in the house, and took that team's place in the house. And they did really well. You know, they won all the challenges and got to the final. And what they didn't know in the final was that out of the top 2 people on the team, the person with the fastest time out of all the final legs in the final challenge would get to make the decision of whether they wanted to keep the money for themselves or split it with their partner. And Hunter, who was demeaning and degrading Ashley throughout the season, and really like the big issue was him really slut shaming her, because like Ashley really can, you know, she can sleep with any number of guys in the house, and it really shouldn't matter to Hunter. Like, he was coming off with this place of like, you know, it's not good for the team because, you know, you shouldn't mingle with other people are gonna begin to talk. But dude, like, it just came off so bad, and he really was like really judging and shaming her for her decisions. So when she made that decision to keep the money, like, Tej barely got it out of his mouth before Ashley was like, I'm keeping the money, Tej. And I was like, oh, but yes. And everyone in the house was shocked, because they're like, I can't believe that she decided to keep the money for herself. But dude, call me Petty Betty, but if I have a partner who's been demeaning and calling me names all season, I am not going to be splitting money with you. I might buy you a drink after the show, maybe even a coffee and a meal, but no way am I going to give you $500,000 USD. Do you know how much that can do? I mean, if they just had disagreements throughout the challenge as normal partners do, fine. You know, that's not bad, but Hunter was being so rude and mean to her all season that if I was in that place, I would totally keep the money too. Let me know what you think, because even my best friend disagrees with me. She was like, oh, I can't believe that Ashley decided to keep the money. You know, if Hunter wasn't there, she wouldn't even have made it to the final, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, Petty, I am not splitting no money with you. So that is why she's my number 5. At number 4 is Georgia from Love Island, UK. She first showed up on the challenge on War of the Worlds 1, where she was paired up with Hunter, and they actually did really well. So on her rookie season, she made it all the way to the final challenge. She didn't win, but, you know, she showed she had a lot of heart. You know, on the show, she was really funny. She had a lot of funny one-liners and commentary during interviews, and, you know, they showed a lot of her flirtatious relationship with Bear, which I thought was really funny. Like, you know, they would obviously make such a messy couple if they were ever to get together, but their relationship was a lot of fun to watch. She came back to us again on War of the Worlds 2, this time as a vet, which I think she took a little bit too seriously because, you know, she played that card a lot on her team towards Team UK, and they really didn't like that. And actually the way the season shaped up was that, you know, if you were aligned with Polly, then you kind of made it far in the season, and because Georgia wasn't aligned, they kept throwing her in, and eventually she was eliminated. So I don't think people, you know, I think people expected her to get a lot further, but because of, you know, the way that the season was, she was put in so many times that eventually she was defeated. But I really do hope to see her on a future season because she has so much heart, so funny, and just such a fun addition to the show. So that's why she's my number 4. At number 3 is Dee from Geordie Shore, and we first saw her on the War of the Worlds 1 season as Wes's partner. She wasn't super memorable for me in the season except for a couple things. So one being, I remember she couldn't swim, and then Wes had to take her in that pool and show her how to like do the rocket, and then, you know, with the arms and the kicking, and I thought that was really cute. She also got in the middle of a fight with Ninja Natalie and Turbo. And I remember Ninja Natalie was so wrong in that fight. Like, she was definitely wrong, but Dee didn't even care. Like, I don't even know if Dee knew that or realized that, but she stepped in right away for her friend, and she was like, Turbo, you are not going to talk to my friend that way. You are going to respect her. And gosh, don't we all need a friend like that who's going to step in for us right away? Like, you know, step in for me right away. We can talk later whether you're right or wrong, but, you know, support me when someone else is trying to fight me. So I thought she was, you know, such a good friend, loved her. And then she came back in War of the Worlds 2, where she got a lot more of a story. This time she fell in love with Rogan. Rogan. First I thought they were really cute. And then when producers kept egging her on basically to say, like, I love him, they were like, do you love him? Do you love him? Do you love him? And she's like, yes, I love him. And everyone's like, ooh! I thought that was such a cute moment. And then cut to this bar scene where her and Rogan were sitting on the patio, and she was kind of telling him, like, you know, I really like you. I hope you're not just into me, like, for the show. Like, I really do like you as a person. And, you know, he kind of slipped up in this drunken state being like, yeah, I love you too. And I thought that was so cute. Like, I did fall for that too. But then, dude, what did we see from Rogan after that? Freaking orchestrated to get Dee sent in with Joss and CT to vote her into the elimination. She was devastated when she found out after that, and she was crying her eyes out, and I was feeling so sad with her because the first person who should have your back doesn't. Like, someone who you're romantically involved with doesn't have your back. Like, oh, Rogan was such a turd this season, and I really didn't like him. And you know, she did get back with him after that, started cuddling with him again, but, you know, by the final reunion, she spilled that he didn't even, like, care to say bye to her after the challenge. He didn't really care to, like, keep in contact with her, which is so, and, ugh, Rogan, ugh. I don't even think he's that good of a challenger. Like, I don't care to see him on a future challenge, because he's just, ugh, to me. But even with turds on her team, she showed them every single challenge after that why they shouldn't underestimate her and why she was a great competitor, which is why I really liked her, and I really hope to see her on a future challenge too. So that's why she's my number 3. At number 2 is Tori, who came from Are You the One? And she joined us on the season of Dirty 30, where she came with her boyfriend from Are You the One? But Derek got eliminated pretty early, and Tori made it all the way to the final challenge on her rookie season. She came in 3rd, which is super impressive, and she also, that's where she met Jordan on that season. And knowing, you know, that they're like engaged and married and wanting to buy a house together now is just so cute, because anytime I can see real love being formed on a TV show, I just think it's so cute. So I love them together. She came again on the Final Reckoning, being partnered this time with her ex-boyfriend Derek, but, you know, Derek's just not a very good competitor, so they did not make it very far that season. And then she came back again on the previous season, War of the Worlds 2, this time fully in a relationship with Jordan. I think they kept each other really balanced, motivated, and stable throughout the show, which is really good. I think she's a really good partner for Jordan. Although she says that he's really chill and down to earth when he is back at home, like, he's really cocky and, you know, aggressive when he's in the challenge house. And maybe it is the challenge house that really brings out all the worst traits in people, but I don't really see how all of that, like, some of that doesn't come out in your personal life. But maybe it is the challenge household that drives everyone crazy. But I think Tori does a great job of, like, telling him that, like, you can't do that. Like, you can't say these things, which I think is so awesome that she's teaching him what's right and wrong. So I really like Tori. The only thing I didn't like this season was her getting in the middle of Jordan and Turbo, because Jordan was fully instigating the fight with Turbo, wanting Turbo to basically, like, punch him and get eliminated. And Tori had to step in because she didn't want them to get into a fight. But dude, if your man wants to get in a fight, don't step in the middle. Jordan should not have instigated that at all. And if Tori wanted to do something, she should have told Jordan that he couldn't do that behind the scenes. But you know what? I guess when you're in love, you really got to protect a bae. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, I really like Tori as a competitor in the challenge. And that's why she's my number 2. So my favorite challenge competitor who came to us from Are You the One is Killa Cam. And she first showed up on the season of Vendettas. And she got all the way to the finals. She got eliminated on the first leg of that challenge, but, you know, did super well on her rookie season. She got thrown into so many eliminations. She eliminated Tori. She got rid of Ashley. She also got rid of Natalie, which is super impressive. And, you know, her overall attitude on that season was like, you know, I'm a rookie. I'm going to get thrown in every time, but I'm not scared. And I'm going to show you every time how well I'm going to perform. And she did. Okay, so I thought she had such an impressive mindset and also rookie season. And then we saw her again on Final Reckoning, this time partnered with Kaylee, and she, like, there was this episode where she devised this whole plan, which honestly I still don't really understand. But yeah, they did pretty well that season, and she also showed up on War of the Worlds being partnered with Ashley. But they didn't, you know, I don't think they really worked well together, and they didn't make it very far on that challenge, so she was gone pretty early. But she did come back on this previous season of War of the Worlds 2, and this time, you know, made it all the way to the end with her love, Leroy. But unfortunately, both of them were in the final challenge but didn't win, which is kind of sad. But, you know, like I said, didn't love the way the season played out with everyone on Team US, like, following Polly, and, you know, people on Team UK also following Polly. Like, I don't think that he's a good leader, and I just didn't like his, like, he wanted to be untouched. He wanted to play a perfect season, according to Cara Maria, which meant never being put in elimination, always, like, making the decisions. But to me, like, to be a respected competitor on the show, you should be willing to go into eliminations to show them what you're made of. Like, you should be willing to go there and take other strong competitors out. So, I mean, call it a perfect season, but even if he had won, I wouldn't have been like, you know, ooh, like, he's such a good player. Like, no. But anyways, I totally understand why Cam aligned with him, because she, you know, needed to form an alliance to basically bring herself to the end of the show, which she did. So although I don't like Polly and, you know, him being the leader of Team UK / Team US, I did, you know, I still respect Cam's decision because it did bring her all the way to the end. So yeah, I think Cam has shown a lot of heart. I love her attitude of being like, you know, I'm going to go in the elimination every time, and I'm going to show you every single time why I'm a good competitor. Like, all those people that are afraid to go into the eliminations shows exactly why they suck on the show. So yeah, I don't like that. But yeah, this is my top 5 challengers. Ooh, but I also did want to say someone I love is Laurel, who first showed up on the season of Fresh Meat 2, which is filmed in Vancouver. Whoop whoop. And she's such a strong competitor. Like, she's a beast physically. Like, she kills every cardio, strength, heights challenge. She's smart. Like, she's such a total package, but she has been kind of rude to people over the years and said some kind of mean things, which is why I didn't put her on my top 5. But, you know, I really do love watching her on these challenges, and, you know, I would love to see her come back and continue to dominate these challenges. So yeah, let me know what your top 5 favorite female challenges are. Let me know if you agree with my list below. Obviously, we all watch for different things, and it'd be interesting to see if you have a totally different list of top 5 female challengers or whether they're kind of, similar to mine. So let me know below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.